Celebrating 100 years for an individual is always a reason to have a party, but celebrating 100 years for a community is a reason to have a huge party. All the details of the local municipality and the events planned are coming up on Polk Place. Welcome to Polk Place. I'm your host, Tina Mann, and joining me in the studio today are Monica Drake-Pierce with the Lake Wales Museum and Cultural Center.
Hi Tina, thanks for having me here.
Welcome. And also Tina Peak, who's the Director of Library and Historical Resources for the Lake Wales Library.
Yes, thank you.
Welcome. So I'm excited to have you on today. As I said, a centennial is always a reason to celebrate. So why don't you tell me how you guys are celebrating?
So the Lake Wales Museum and Cultural Center is really excited because we have been given a grant through the Florida Humanities Council to get the Smithsonian Traveling Exhibit The Way We Worked, which is going to be coming in August. And this exhibit really is coordinated quite nicely with our 100-year centennial anniversary of Lake Wales. And it gives us a great opportunity to look at the way Lake Wales worked over the last 100 years and how we became the successful city that we are today. So we are very encouraged to be, kind of in the mix with this exhibit. It gives a little bit more panache maybe to the celebration with the Smithsonian logo that goes along with it. And being able to partner with the Florida Humanities Council is also a really wonderful opportunity.
Right, and you have to be pretty involved in order to be able to get a Smithsonian exhibit to come. So you are the director at the Lake Wales Museum and Cultural Center. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what that is?
So the Lake Wales Museum really is focused on looking at the local history of the area. We collect objects and artifacts that have everything and anything to do with Lake Wales and the surrounding area. We look at the pioneer tradition coming back into Lake Wales, in the late 19th century. We look at, notable places within the area like Bok Tower, St. Anne's Shrine, Spook Hill, and other interesting places in Lake Wales. The industry of the area, of course, is really specific, so cattle, turpentine, citrus, and we really are focused on highlighting Lake Wales.
That's excellent. So where are you guys located?
We are located at 325 South Scenic Highway in Lake Wales. That's the old 1928 Atlantic Coastline Railroad depot, otherwise known as the depot, and it's a big pink building. You really can't miss it.
Nice. And of course the library is pretty close to that as well.
Right.
Do you guys work together a lot on events and things like that?
We do. In 2015, when the city of Lake Wales decided to reopen the museum under the city city manager at that time took an approach that this would be a good fit for us to work together, two humanities-based organizations. So the library is actually at 290 Cypress Garden Lane, which is about 2 blocks north of the museum, just off Park Avenue.
Excellent.
So we have got a 20,000 square foot library, very large, about 103,000 items under the roof in collection. And Monica and I and my staff all work together on many projects, and we focus on, we have a nice local history archive too, so we kind of share those resources.
That's excellent. That's a good team. So tell me a little bit more about this centennial celebration.
Well, back on May 28th, 1917, Lake Wales officially incorporated. So we are starting to kick off our celebration this year. We'll have the City of Lake Wales, which is one of our partnering organizations. We'll have a large centennial celebration down at Lake Wales, and they're in the middle of planning that party right now. But that's just going to be one of many things that we're doing, in conjunction with the Smithsonian exhibit coming and this whole celebration that really does focus on the fact that Lake Wales is still thriving 100 years later. So we've got a speaker series that we're going to be doing, and hopefully we'll be able to come back on PGTV and Polk Place and talk a little bit more about what those are. There's a lot going on, so I don't want to kind of ramble it off right now, but we're going to partner with the museum to have a lot of these speakers come and give talks about the way we worked in Lake Wales. As I had mentioned, that's kind of our coordinated theme with the Smithsonian exhibit being the way they worked, looking at work traditionally in America and how it happens now. We want to, with our programming, focus on the way Lake Wales works and how it developed, how the people over time developed the city that we see today. So, of course, along with that, the Lake Wales Public Library is going to have a great coordinated exhibit opening in July.
In July.
We're also partnering with Bach Tower Gardens. They're going to have a great exhibit talking about the way the tower was built, which we will be able to talk about a little bit more as we get closer to their opening date. We're going to have an agribiz panel, which again will be hosted at the library. And that's going to be really talking with a lot of people in the Lake Wales area that have had their work kind of center around cattle and citrus and those core agribiz businesses in Lake Wales. So we just have a lot going on with the Centennial celebration. We're really looking forward to it.
It sounds like everybody needs to go visit Lake Wales.
I think so.
They really do. So the lecture series, that's going to be basically starting monthly-ish in July?
Yes, roughly
actually,
around there. I'll let Tina talk a little bit more about it.
The first one is in August. It'll be coordinated with the opening of the Way We Worked Museum. At the museum, we will have a speaker, Dr. Steve Knoll from University of Florida, who has a kind of focuses on the way we worked across, primarily in Florida, but across the country too. He's very interesting. I had the pleasure to meet him a few months ago, and very interesting man, very engaging. We're going to have Hank Matson, who does the cracker cowboy portrayal, kind of the way cowboys worked. And your lady that...
yeah, we're going to have Karen Neal, who is one of the members of the FHC speaker series, come by, and she actually does tailored programs for anybody who's any humanities organization or city that's hiring her. So she's really going to focus then again on how Lake Wales works. So her core presentation is going to be storytelling, and that story will focus on the way Lake Wales works. So again, we're taking that kind of broader theme from the Smithsonian exhibit of the way they worked, or the way we worked rather, in America and how we work today, and then we've distilled it to look at the way Lake Wales works and the way we work today. Still, to make ourselves a very successful place to be.
It is, and they have been a successful place to be for 100 years. So how long is the Smithsonian exhibit going to be there?
The Smithsonian exhibit will open at the Lake Wales Museum on August 18th. That will be our opening night, and it will run through September 30th.
So what can people expect from the exhibit? When you say a traveling exhibit, I don't think people quite know what that means.
Yeah, so interestingly enough, the Smithsonian exhibit has fabricated the exhibit ahead of time, and through the Florida Humanities Council, organizations in Florida are able to write grants in order to receive these already fabricated, well-researched exhibits that are designed to be mobile. So they come in big kind of trunks, rolling trunks. They're again, they're already prefabricated on boards that come out, and there's actually kind of like, we had an orientation not long ago where we had to set up the exhibit, and it basically just kind of connects together, and by the time you're done, you have this built out, beautiful, really interesting exhibit. But yeah, it's highly mobile. Of course, it's done by the Smithsonian exhibit, so they set the kind of paradigm or standard for
Right.
museum display. So we're incredibly happy to be a part of this exhibit and be, we're honored to be getting the exhibit.
I think one of the exciting things for the community is it's going to be housed or displayed in the old freight room, which at this point, once the museum was reopened in 2015, the doors remain locked to that freight room.
Oh, wow.
It's become a storage, or it had become a storage area, staging area. So now, at that point, it will be opened, and people who are kind of curious as to what's back there can see that beautiful freight room with the beautiful hardwood floors and the way people, the room that was used as you got on the train to go across Florida. So it's going to be a beautiful setting.
It really will. The room is beautiful, and of course, anytime you have, a note on the door that says staff only, please, people really want to get back there.
They do. They want to be like, what's back there? It's like my children, they're, if there's a lock, they want to get in.
Yep.
So that sounds like it's going to be a really interesting time. So when is the Centennial kickoff?
So we'll be having, the City of Lake Wales will be having, like I said, that Centennial party. I kind of treat that as the kickoff. That's May 28th, which is actually our Centennial date.
Nice.
Memorial weekend.
Oh,
It'll be over.
excellent.
It'll be over a holiday weekend. But we've also been striving throughout since 2017 began to have history-based programs, heritage-based programs. So the library's been doing that, and so kind of getting folks geared up for it.
You guys really do a good job of promoting Lake Wales history
Thank you.
and working with the other local, like the Polk County History Center and things like that to educate people, because I feel like it's becoming a lost art, and people don't realize how much we've grown just in the last 15 years, much less 100. And trying to tell my children, they're like, what did you do without an iPad? I'm thinking, it's just funny that they don't realize just how far we've come. So you guys are doing a great job of educating people.
Thank you
on
so
that.
much. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
All right, well, I thank you guys for joining me today,
Thank
and I
you.
look forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you, Tina.
The City of Lake Wales invites you to join their Centennial celebration and the Smithsonian exhibit, The Way We Worked. Make sure you check out the City of Lake Wales Centennial Party at Lake Wales Park Sunday, May 28th. Celebrations are scheduled throughout the summer and into the fall. Make sure you check out the Museum and Cultural Center's website at cityoflakewales.com or give them a call at 863-676-1759.